Today I'm going to share with you the key to building a bigger audience for your projects. My name's Marshall Lee of DonkeyJawProjects.com, and today I wanted to share with you 10, count 'em, 10 tips for helping grow your bigger audience. And the thing is it kind of flies a little bit in the face of this whole 1,000 true fans method, which you may have heard of. A lot of us in the art community and other communities talk about this idea, and I don't have any problem with the 1,000 true fans kind of theory. I think it's actually very helpful. It helps us to kind of feel a lot more encouraged that we don't need to have like this crazy huge following, like, you know, somebody who's famous. All we need is 1,000 people who are so into our stuff that they'd like to possibly purchase what we make and get into it. So that's really encouraging, but the only thing that I don't like about the 1,000 true fans theory is that it focuses on numbers. And today I wanted to share with you 10 tips on how to grow your audience in a way that is organic and just very human. But first, I wanted to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you like what you're seeing, and also like the video, and let me know in the comment section what it is that you're creating and what you would like to get a bigger audience for. Let's get to it. Alright, so here we go. I just wanted to reiterate that the key is not in how many people you get for your audience. The key is, do you know who those people are, and how well do you know them? Are you basically becoming friends with them, or are they just numbers to you? And you don't want them to be numbers to you. So let's talk about how to grow this thing organically, like I said before. So number one, this is one tip, is to reply to every comment. If you put stuff out there in social media and all that, you want to these people spent time to actually comment on your stuff, and they like it enough to actually put that attention and time into you. So go ahead and make sure you reply to every single comment. At the very least, hit them up with a thank you, but could try to have some meaningful responses as well, and maybe foster some kind of conversation. Number two, attention is reciprocal. So you want to kind of be giving all the time of attention if you want to get attention. A lot of times there's this whole thing of maybe people are like, oh, I don't understand why I don't have any friends, or whatever it is. If you're trying to get a following, why don't I have a following? Well, are you following other people? Are you commenting on other people's things? Are you subscribing to other people? Do you take in other people's content? What are you giving that? Why should anybody check out your stuff if you're not willing to check out theirs? So yeah, that's number two. Attention is reciprocal. Number three, perform your art. And this is kind of a no-brainer to a certain extent, but I'll let you know, like, there's been a lot of times where I've done videos where it's just been me talking to the camera, and I have even had comments before where it's like, well, we want to see your art and stuff. And so it's partially, show your art, don't just talk to people. But a lot of people, that's what they do. They already do show what they're creating, or whatever it is you're creating. But not only do you want to just show it, but you want to show it well. Like, you want to show it almost like, you have to remember, like, when you're creating art or comics or whatever it is you're making, a lot of times this is kind of like an entertainment situation. So you want to entertain them, you want to make them laugh, make them feel something, make them think. You want to be giving something like you don't want to just show your art in a very practical way. You want to show it in an entertaining light. So yeah, perform your art. Number 4, create places to hang out. Now this one's pretty cool. Like there's a lot of different ways you can do that. I do it by, I have live stream hangouts where I talk to the people in the chat and even invite people to come on and hang out with me through my YouTube channel. That's one way. There's also I have a Facebook group, DonkeyJawProjects.com, or Donkey Jaw Projects Facebook group, and that's a great way to do it too. And one kind of little tip in there is that people tend to get more notifications on what happens in Facebook groups than they do in like if you post to your Facebook page. So there's that. But there's all kinds of different opportunities on different social medias where you can do like live streams. There's also Discord. You could create a Discord, or even go to other people's Discords and get involved in other people's groups and get involved in that as well. So that's, you know, you want to create a community around what you're doing and really just get to know people, and it's really all about relationships. So create places to hang out. Number 5, the power of small talk and kind of fun and games. Now it's easy to kind of get all focused on like trying to get attention and trying to get people into your stuff, but what's actually really powerful is just talking about silly stuff that maybe isn't even related to what you're trying to show people or sell people or whatever it is. So you just talk about, you know, just the weather. I mean, it's kind of, I always thought it was kind of boring to always talk about the weather, but it's a great way to break the ice, and it's a great way to just get the conversation going. And then there might be a little something that, you know, comes up in conversation about art or whatever, and you can kind of sometimes segue into, oh, you know, I just did this and it was kind of cool, you know, blah blah blah, you know. So, you know, there's a guy, like somebody who has kind of like the gift of gab usually will make it kind of further than somebody who doesn't like to talk too much. And I'm definitely the type who doesn't like to talk too much, but it's, you know, have fun with your audience. Do things that aren't necessarily always related 100% to what you're making. So number 6, be in the habit of asking questions. Now, you know, this is just a great habit to be in. You want to always be getting feedback from your audience. You know, and you want them to, a lot of times they'll feel more involved when you're asking them questions. I'm pretty soon doing a collaboration where I'm going to do a mashup of Spawn and another character. So I've been asking people, what character would you like to see me mash up with Spawn? And a lot of people are putting in their input, and it's fun. I do this all the time. I'm always asking questions. Every single video I always ask a question for somebody to leave in the comments, and that furthers your engagement, which helps the YouTube kind of algorithm, but also it's just a great way to get to know your audience and just kind of create that relationship. And this is all about giving. All these tips are about giving to your audience and learning from your audience and listening to your audience. You know, people want to be listened to. So, you know, that's what all these things are really about. And then the next tip is number 7, be open to collaborate. A lot of times people approach me and they want to contribute in some way, or they want to maybe do a little side project or something. You know, you don't want to say yes to everything. You know, you can't do everything, but you can, you know, be at least open to the possibility of collaborating with people. Because, you know, you'll be surprised what awesome things people can help you out with, and you can help other people out with. And again, this is all part of building your audience and building your community around what you're doing. Number 8, share their stuff freely. Don't, you know, always be focused on getting your stuff out there. You know, other people are creating stuff too, and a lot of times the audience is also other creators. So you want to, you know, so many times on my YouTube videos and things like that, I'm mentioning other people and their projects and people's Kickstarters or Indiegogos or whatever. I'm always trying to promote other people's stuff as well as mine. And not only is it, you know, nice, just a nice thing to do, but also it shows that you're not selfish, and people like to follow people who are giving of themselves and sacrificial, that's kind of like a hero's trait. And I'm not saying that we're heroes, but if you think about story, your protagonist has to have some kind of selfless act. That usually is the change that they come to find out they need to be more selfless. So that's part of what the change is a lot of times in stories. And it's true, you don't want to just be taking, you want to be giving. In fact, you want to have your giving way more outweigh the taking, and promoting your stuff if possible. So share other people's stuff, be involved in what they're doing and help them out. Number 9, be grateful of every person. I don't know how many times a day I type the words thank you to people in my audience. Constantly I'm doing this. And, I really am appreciative. And you got to always let people know that, because people are giving you attention, even if you only have 5 people that are interested, even if you have 1 person that's interested in your stuff, the fact that they even are paying attention, like none of us deserve any attention. I don't believe that. I don't feel entitled or anything. I feel grateful for anybody who's interested at all. And when you've done it for a long time and seen how few people get into your stuff and how hard it is to get people into your stuff, you can't help but be grateful when you start to get 1, 2, 3, 5, 100, whatever. Once you start building that audience, you can't help but be grateful. So make sure you share that and let people know. And number 10, you can't fake authenticity. Transparency and failure and vulnerability should kind of be part of what you do. And I'm not saying, you don't want to, tell everybody everything. There are definitely things that you keep private and stuff like that. But, if you didn't do something so well, let people know, say, I did this, but, I kind of failed in this respect, but I'm looking at it in a positive way, but be yourself. If you happen to be somebody who's kind of more on the grumpy side, go ahead and show that grumpiness. Don't show it to a point where it's like nobody wants to follow you because you're a downer type of thing. But it's okay to show a little bit of opinion and a little bit of edge, but if you're somebody who's more like just happy-go-lucky, show that bubbly personality that you have. And so you want to be exactly who you are, maybe kind of be like the best version of who you are, when you're showing your stuff. But don't be fake. If you're fake, people will see right through it. And you just don't want to do that. So make sure you kind of share some of your failures. And the thing is people, they like to follow people, but they like to see how they struggle and then also see them overcome those struggles. So it's okay to show like your failures, and it also makes them feel a little more comfortable, like they're not the only ones who don't do things perfectly. So it's always great to be able to show a little bit of that side of yourself too. So I want to give a huge shout out to CB Smallwood. He's the one who actually suggested this topic, so his link will be in the description below. And also, this whole video is brought to you by Corncob Rob and the Perilous Sky Ramp, which is a comic I just recently finished. You can find it at donkeyjawprojects.com/comics. So yeah, when it all comes down to it, building an audience is all about giving and listening to your audience. No matter what you do, you should always be focused on that, and you should also be focused on creating just really cool stuff that they enjoy. Again, if you liked this and you think somebody else would be helped by it, please share it. Like, comment, and again, let me know what you're creating down in the comments below. You guys rock. I'll talk to you later. This is Marshall Lee of Donkey Jaw Project signing off.